Hello PaddleStrong. Welcome to practice number 4. So far we've covered a lot. We've covered looking at the stroke a little bit differently, looking at it through breaking it down, fundamental movements and elements of the stroke. And then we've started to break down each of those elements of the stroke. We've talked about our setup, we've talked about our extension, we've talked about our catch, and we've talked about our press phase of our stroke. Today's practice, we really are going to focus on the back of our stroke. I'm going to give you a lot of key points in how to exit and recover, and Ariel is going to demonstrate how to do that properly. And we're going to spend today's practice trying to get really good at our exit and recovery. This is a more complicated part of the stroke. It doesn't come the most natural. If you ever take a still picture of a dragon boat team at their exit or recovery, I guarantee they're not in stroke. It's difficult to get 20 people to do the same thing at the same time. So we're going to have a couple of key points that we're going to agree upon, and hopefully that's going to help us have a great exit. I'll go over a couple of them now. The first one, just going to use my body, is to keep rotating past square. Okay? Keep derotating past square. If you look at my hips, I rotate my hips, I enter at the catch. I derotate my hips to square. You can see where my hand is. I want us to derotate past square. You can see my hand has the ability to travel all the way back to my hip. So derotate not to square, derotate past square. Okay? That's going to help strengthen the back part of our stroke. Okay? That's still the press phase, but it's important for us to know to derotate past square. Second thing we're going to think about is when we release and we bring our paddle back up to the setup, we want to keep our frame solid. So our core and our arms, I want to keep them solid. No breaking. Some other dragon boat teams you might see will break at the elbow, will break at the core, will flick things back. We're going to stay solid through our core, solid through our arms, and we're going to snap everything back as one unit. That's the main focus. I'll give you a visual, or I'll give you a visual. I want you to think about, you're at the back of your stroke, and instead of having a paddle, you have a sandbag. And this sandbag needs to be thrown to your drummer. No matter what seat you're in. Well, seat 1 may be a little further than the drummer. But you're going to try to throw this sandbag to the drummer. If you were to just flick with your arms, you're not going to reach your destination. That sandbag's too heavy to use your arms to throw it to the drummer. So we're going to use our core the same way we paddle. We're going to be at the exit. Our core is solid, and we're going to use this core strength right here, and we're going to throw it to the drummer. We're going to be back here. I'm going to throw it to the drummer. Okay? Notice my arms are staying straight, my core is staying locked, and I'm using thrust or torque from my hip to generate that force. All right? If you do this even outside the dragon boat, you practice standing with a partner and throwing something heavy back and forth, you'll notice that your release position is the perfect setup position for a dragon boat stroke. And that's where we want to end this phase of the stroke. So, to review, a couple of key points. There is many at the exit and recovery, but a couple of key points we've talked about so far. Derotating past square, and keeping our frame locked as we throw the sandbag up to the drummer. That's going to be the key focus of practice number 4. Here is Ariel, and she's going to demonstrate some of these concepts. So Ariel's at the paddles up position right now. She's at the setup. She extends and catches. Okay, and now we're going to watch. Ariel's going to take her stroke all the way back. She's going to derotate past square, and she's going to end. Her paddle, she's still pushing water down. This is the perfect position for her to end. I want to point out that her top hand is ending at her heart. Her bottom hand is ending at the back of her hips or at her the back of her seat. Ariel's now gonna throw the sandbag to snap to the setup. Excellent job there by Ariel. Hands are still straight. The whole frame came back as one. Now Ariel's gonna just paddle regular, and we're gonna see this in full speed, or at least in slow speed. But she's doing a terrific job here, keeping her core straight and bringing her paddle all the way to the back of the stroke. Now I'm just gonna give Ariel a focus to push deeper at the exit and try to make her exit water darker. If we focus on the water that she's releasing, she's now releasing darker water, not lighter water. This is something that's gonna be a focus of ours. And one more, Ariel, and then stop at the setup. Beautiful. Thank you, Ariel. Okay, here we go, and we're just going to review a couple more key points. We've done a good job of looking at the exit. Two last key points that Ariel's going to reinforce for us here. One is pushing down with our top arm the whole time. Ariel's going to take a slow motion stroke, and she's really going to emphasize her top arm presses forward and down, forward and down, forward and down. Good, Ariel. One more time. Top arm presses forward and down the whole time. Lots of pressure down through the paddle. The next thing that she is going to reinforce for us, she'll have to do this in full speed, is finding resistance against the water at the exit. We call this pushing off a wall. There's not actually a wall there, but you're trying to make sure you have resistance on your paddle at the exit to help you release. Ariel's going to do that now. Boom. You can see she's staying accelerated right to the back, and then there's a pulse, there's a snap. There's a snap as she releases. She finds good water to push against. Thank you, Ariel. Here is our exercise for today. Before we get into the workout, our exercise, and this is always a big challenge with Dragamo teams, is to have our exit and recovery work together. The best way to do this is one stroke at a time. Let's accomplish one perfect stroke with a perfect exit and recovery. Then let's accomplish 2 perfect strokes with perfect exit and recovery. We're going to go all the way up to 10. So Ariel and I are going to demonstrate how that exercise is going to work right now. Paddles up. 1 stroke, go. 2 strokes, go. 3 strokes, go. 4, go. 'Excellent job, Ariel. Relax. So what she did a great job there is being patient in between strokes. Once we're getting up into numbers like 4, 6, 8, 10, we can't rush to the water. We still have to have a patient setup and extension. Ariel did a great job of that. And the other thing she did a great job of is counting in your own head. If the drill is take 3 strokes and you take 4, guess what? Somebody's elbow's getting bashed. Okay, PaddleStrong, now we're going to move on to our workout. Our goal is to have perfect paddling, perfect exit, perfect recovery today. And so we're going to accomplish this in small chunks. Our workout is we're going to do 20 seconds of perfect paddling. We're going to do 40 seconds of perfect paddling, and then we're going to do 60 seconds of perfect paddling times 6. 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds times 6. Make all of them perfect, just like we did for the exercise, 1 stroke all the way up to 10 strokes. 20, 40, 60 times 6. Here are your key points to remember. Okay? Exit and recovery, key points. Keep rotating past square. Keep de-rotating past square, I should say. Keep pressure down on the paddle. Push the water down and back. Do not lift water up into the lap of the person behind you. Push water down and back, down to the bottom of Kempenfeld Bay. Pass dark water to your teammate. White water is shallow, it's at the top. Push dark water back to your teammates. Release that dark water with the visual of pushing off of a wall. Ariel did a great job of this. Push off a wall and snap for that recovery. Hip and arms return together. Hips and arms return together. We don't break and return separately. We return together. Envision throwing a sandbag to the front of the boat. Envision throwing a sandbag to get from your exit to your setup. And last is make sure your elbow travels out and up. It doesn't get stuck in here tight. Elbow travels slightly out and slightly up. Good luck.